and you can see how that key works. Hello and welcome back to Lock Lab 101. What we're going to do today is we're going to gut or take the core out of this ABLOY 340. In a previous video I picked it, and in this video we're going to go ahead and pull the core out and see what we have there. Okay, let's get at it. So the ABLOY is pretty unique in that, or the ABLOY line is pretty unique is that, well, there's a couple things. One, here's the key. That's the key in the key cut. This is the keyway. So when you open it, it captures the key. I can't pull this key out. Okay, but what that does is it opens up this window to a grub screw in there that will allow me to unscrew this core retainer. When it's closed, you can see it covers that grub screw up. What it allowed, when you open it, it allows you to do is take a 2.5 millimeter Allen wrench and pull that grub screw out. There's the grub screw right there. And then what you can do is you can unscrew this. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and lock it. And here's the advancing key that I use when I pick it. And all of this, you see the shape of it there. And you see the shape of the keyway. So what that does, that just advances it. Okay. And I'll be able to pull it like that. So I'm going to take this retaining pin off, and it just unscrews. And then what I can do is take this advancing key, put it in here, go all the way down to the core, or to the bottom. I think that's it. Okay, and I'm gonna put pressure onto one side. So I'm gonna kink it. Oh well, I'm gonna put pressure on the key and see if I can pull the core out. And that's what it looks like inside. Here's the bar. There's the locking bar. And right there. So here we have the core, or the cylinder. I'm going to call it core from now on for this in this video. Okay, I'm going to put that right there. And at this point I can go ahead and take the shackle out. And there's 2 BBs in there. Or steel balls, steel bearings. I'm not going to pull those out. I'm going to keep those right there. So something I made, I 3D printed this so I could, well, look at how the core operates. So what I do is I line all these up, and I made this after I exploded this several times. If all these fall out, it is quite difficult to line them back up in the right order so the bitting on the key works. Another thing is, so there's a C-clip right here. So this C-clip sticks, there's like a little tab on it that sticks out right there. Okay, and then this tool, there's a groove in there. So I need to line that. It just pushes up in there. Okay. So in the video that where I picked this open, this 340 open, I talked about an anti-pick design feature and it's this spring right here. So that's what that spring does, is it pushes all these discs in the spacers together so that you have sympathetic movement. So meaning that when you move like number 6 discs, number 5 and number 7 also try and move. So then I just put the follower in here, screw it down. And then I can see all the discs here. Okay, so this is on this side is where the locking bar will fall. So the locking bar will go in there. I'll show you that in a second. First, let's get this in a vise. Key. This green holder here that I 3D printed, it's good. It's at the good level. It's not at the great level, because that disc or that core will still spin around. So I just need to kind of hold it right here, and you can see how that key works. Actually, let's do this. Okay, so we've jammed a piece of cardboard in there so it'll stop rotating. And so what we can see now, and these are the drivers here. Let me show you. Okay, so that's how the key comes out, and then when you open it, that blocking pin, you can see how all the gates open up and allows that locking pin to fall in. I'm going to put the locking bar in here, and what you want to see is, or what you want to watch is, when those gates open up, that locking bar will fall down. See that? It'll allow it to. So this groove here is for that C-clip, and that keeps that core in a certain position. Okay, so let's pull this key out. I'm gonna take the locking bar out. So when you pick this thing, you take this key, which is a disc advance key, stick it in there. You advance all of the discs as far as they can go. Pull that out. And then here's the disc that I use to pick this. So this is the tension tool. This is the tension tool right here. And then this is the pick. So as I insert this, what you want to see is look at these discs right here. Advance this. Okay. See how that tension tool provides tension on the bottom 2 discs. So in reality, I probably need to shorten that up so that I need to grind some of this off so it only provides tension on the bottom disc, because this is designed to provide tension just on the bottom disc, and as you can see, it's not really doing that. When I picked this, I just got away with that because those are probably 0 cuts. You put the pick in there, and then you see, and then I come to the next one, right there, and the next one, right there, and the next one. And what you're trying to do is to align all those gates up. Right like that on number 2. Oh, that's 4. Okay, there's a 2 gate. There's a false gate right there. There's another false gate. And then the true gate. And I'm looking right here. I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, the fourth disc there. Okay, there's false gate, no gate, false gate, real gate. Let's go to number 3, and it's 3 from 1, 2, 3. So right here, look right in this area here. Okay, that's number 2. That's what makes these locks so difficult. Okay, there's 2. And it's hard doing it like this. I usually do it with my hand over the top, but that would be pointless in this video, or it'd make this video pointless. Okay, whatever, you get it. There's 4. I'm trying to get number 3, and you see me moving this around, and that's trying to get in between. Okay, there we go. So false gate. False gate, false gate. Okay, you saw that on disc 3. Okay, so you get it. I'm going to pull this out. Okay, so that's how it's picked. This is what that mechanism looks like inside. Okay, so let's pull some of these discs out so we can look at them. So to get this out of here, I put pressure on this so it doesn't create a yard cell. Everything falls out. I will pull this out. There's a spring, don't want to lose that. And then we have to line that circlip up with this groove right here. Okay, don't fail me now. I've had some of these like explode on me, and it's extremely difficult to, well, maybe not extremely, but it's difficult to get them all back together. All right, here we go there. So here's disc 11, and I'm going to take them out and flip them down so the face is up. It's disc 11, and then this is a there, and then here's, okay, I'm not going to pull all of these out just because it's, you've seen one disc, you've kind of seen them all. What we got here is the true gate, and then you have a false gate right here, very, very minuscule. Then you have the driver here. Okay, that's what this cylinder, or the disc stop. That'll go and it'll hit this side of it'll hit this side of the cylinder. Okay. I really don't see a need to pull all of these out because that one looks very similar to all those, with the exception of the gate is on a different location. So when you're assembling these, this disc tab goes on the larger portion over here, and the gate goes on this side. Come over here. Okay. You can see that is incorrect. So we need to rotate it until it'll fall in there, and that tab right here keeps that spacer from spinning. If the spacer spun, it does a little bit, there is a little bit of movement. If the spacer spun completely, it would greatly increase the difficulty of picking. But the problem is, if the spacer spun, it would also make it very difficult to get the key back out. Pin 11 doesn't have that tab, so pin 11 will spin all the way around. And that is why you can't tension off of this disc. In some disc detainers you can. This ABLOY, the ABLOY 340, you can't because it'll spin all the way around. You try and tension on there, it'll spin all the way around. Okay, so we're getting this thing back together. Oh, and this is the spring. This is the spring that drives that core to the face of the lock. I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to put it right there. Hopefully it doesn't fall over. And come out. Okay, so we have two BBs in there, and what they look like is that. And what I found because they go in the bottom of this right there, and they need to go on either side because these steel balls are what keep the shackle in. So the best thing I found was to take just a little bit of grease, drop it in there, a little bit of grease, drop it in there, and then take a screwdriver or a pick and push them to either side. Well, where their hole is. So I don't think that was. All I did was drop the core in there, and I'm taking the advancing key just so I can control what's going on here, all the way down. And what I need to do is rotate it. Okay, and it just fell down. All right, now I can pull this out, and then I can put my locking bar in. So it's in the unlock position now, and then the key just fell into place. Okay, then I need to keep pressure on the top disc, and I need to get this key out. Okay, and the way I get the key out is I need to lock it, because remember, it captures the key. I come in here, and then this here, this screws in on top of here, and you can use the key or this here. And there's grooves on here. There's like 4 grooves. There's on the bottom side. There's groove here, 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 and here. So I put it down so where it's snug, then back it off right to there. You can see what it looks like there. Let's get this out of the way. Open it up. Should works properly. Ooh, I didn't put the spring back in there. So we forgot our spring. So we have to take all this back apart. Put the spring in. So in order to get that grub screw in there, I need to unlock it. And opens up like that. Here's the grub screw. Put it in there, snug it, and then it works fine. There's no resistance or grating on the key. Okay, well, that's how you take the core out. When dealing with that core or rekeying it or whatever, I found this tool to be pretty helpful. And all it is a 3D printed square with a hole in it, a couple of holes. Put a little screw insert there, and it has a follower that I'll push in there against the screw, or sorry, against the spring to keep tension against the face, and then, well, you can see what we did with it. Okay, that's all I have for today. If you got something out of that, please like and subscribe, and thank you very much.